categorizes movies so that it helps people be able to pick what they want to watch.
Okay, good. That's different. That's why probably they have genres.
Sales. I mean,
okay.
as far as the film industry is concerned, genres, dictate sales. You have a summer blockbuster, it's the action movie. People are like, oh, this is going to be, the best action movie of the summer. They want to go see it because they want to see a good action movie. I mean, it makes it easier to sell to people because people like action movies, so we'll make a movie action. There you go. That draws in a certain crowd already because people are going to want to watch it. So in that instance, it helps the financial end, helps creators kind of maybe get started because not everyone can make their first film be this amazing exploratory thing. So it helps get your foot in the door in that you know what people like, so you have kind of a guideline to follow just to establish your skill set. And then for consumers, it's good because it helps you filter out bad movies or movies that you might not be interested in. Because there's a lot of movies out there, and you don't know which ones you want to watch, so you can kind of narrow it down to things you already like or have a history of liking, and kind of find more things along those lines.
But what about mislabeling, right? Like people say, okay, this would be an action movie.
Yeah, that's part of. That's when people make a bad movie and they just want to make more money, or they just want to make it not a complete loss.
Okay, so what kind of genres are not less popular? You think? Okay, maybe action movies are well received. If you see it's in genre, you feel like, oh, probably I won't go see. I mean, it's different depending on person.
Drama. There's plenty of it in real life, so I don't really want to go and watch it on the screen.
So if you go to rental video store, you don't go to
I avoid the drama section.
Okay.
Non-action sci-fi. I feel like most films that I talk to other people about, when they see a sci-fi movie and it doesn't have any action in it, and they're just like, why did I watch that?
So if it's sci-fi, you want action in it. I see. Okay.
In terms of what genres are successful, I would say science fiction is definitely lower on the list. A lot of people are generally just turned off by the idea of science fiction.
Really?
And the only time that's different is when it's supplemented by a lot of action. When it's more of an action movie than a science fiction movie, that's when people will go to see it, and that's when it's really successful. But for the most part, science fiction is not so great. Things like action are really good for bringing in money. People like watching dramas. They sell always, even if they're not that good. They tend to make their money back. Horror movies are at this point nowadays kind of half and half because there's just so many of them. They have to be really good. People don't go see it. Comedies are generally pretty solid about making their money back, just because they tend to have a lower budget anyways. But I would think movies that kind of advertise themselves as art house films, as like being exploratory on kind of like a slice of life movie to explore human nature type thing. People don't really go for that, generally speaking, in a theater. It might be popular at festivals and stuff, but not in initial sales. And then lower budget action movies tend to not be very good because people like shiny explosions.
Netflix had a survey. This is maybe 5 years ago. Had a survey. They divided each state. Okay, what